Hey folks, Reed of Apes here, and my buddy Race with me. Hey Race.
Hello, that's me.
Hey, we wanted to, just sort of jump in here and talk a minute about our sound quality on a few of the episodes you might have heard.
Or lack thereof, maybe.
Or lack thereof. Yeah, exactly. And, explain to let you know that things are not like that throughout everything you'll hear. We're a little new at this, you might have guessed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it 15, 20 minutes, so...
And
the reality is that we're learning as we go, and while we're dropping episodes with a little alacrity right at the moment, it took us a while to get here, and some of the audio quality is just not where we wanted it, but the content was good, so we didn't want to let it go.
Right. We felt like the episodes had good stuff that we couldn't really recreate, so we moved forward and did our best to remix them and make the audio quality the best it can be, but some of it is still a little ugly. So just want to let you know to hang in there. We keep improving, and we think we've got the sound quality in check now. So future episodes should be pretty reliable, but the first few, they're a little rough.
Yeah, and since we didn't necessarily release everything in the order we recorded it, you may hear it sounds pretty good, and then the next episode sounds like crap, and that's just a matter of us picking and choosing what we were putting together.
Right, and getting through the good pieces of the earlier episodes with the bad sound. Filtering them in there. So
we've probably talked about this long enough, so I think we can move on to the actual episode, don't you think?
Yeah. So episode coming up, and we really appreciate you being here, listening, hanging out with us. Let's get it going.
Here we go.
So, the segment we're going to do for you all.
I think we haven't done this one before. We're calling it Bean Enchiladas.
Bean Enchiladas, also known as, for all intensive purposes.
Yeah, essentially Bean Enchiladas comes from the Pina Colada song, and the idea being these are lyrics that are frequently misheard or misquoted.
Wait, I got to stop you. What if they haven't actually heard the Pina Colada song? Let's sing a little bit of it.
Okay. If there's a person alive between the ages of 10 and 79 that hasn't heard the Pina Colada song,
Google yacht rock, and it'll be the first thing that comes up.
And by the way, I just want you to know that I'm slightly offended by the yacht rock moniker, because that's what people call Steely Dan, and I don't consider Steely Dan to be like yacht rock.
I don't either. I mean,
but that's what people consider when they say yacht rock.
Yeah, people consider certain Steely Dan songs. People who don't know Steely Dan call certain Steely Dan songs yacht rock.
I think maybe we're just being pedantic, but either way.
But not to get off further on the tangent, a lot of people think that Steely Dan listeners are snobbish, or like music snobbish people.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of a stigma. It's kind of a stigma. We're just a little bit better. Anyway.
All right. So,
neither one of us has a yacht.
And neither one of us owns rocks, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna kick off this Pina Colada or Bean Enchiladas segment. And I'm going to go first. Which we didn't really explain. I just said it was the misheard lyrics. Why were you not here? Did you just come in?
Okay, I didn't know if you want to go any deeper than that.
I think people are smarter than we are, so they know what's going on.
They'll figure out what's going on.
I think we've completely blown this introduction.
Race is going to go first and see if I can figure out what befuddlement will befall us.
I've got baking carrot biscuits.
Baking carrot biscuits.
Yes. Okay.
Taking care of business.
There you go. And that
I already love that, not just because I guessed it.
That's Bachman Turner Overdrive. The song is called Taking Care of Business, written by Randy Bachman. And I'm going to have to just try harder, I guess. So it's
that was good.
It did take you a sec.
It did take a sec, and it's fun, like, to do what we do here. I'm going to digress for a second.
Imagine that.
It's fun when you're thinking of this. Like, I don't know how many of these you thought up or you were familiar with.
Probably none of them. But I mean, maybe one or two, but most of them I've heard somewhere.
I made up a few of mine. And the difference between making them up and figuring one out in your mind is so cool. When it flips in your head, it's...
but then it doesn't flip back, does it?
I don't know. I don't know if it does. I mean, I will be singing that
version of it for some time. Okay, let's see if we can get this. It's my turn for what it's worth. And this is your Bean Enchiladas. Squeeze out toothpaste.
Nope.
I'll give you just a little more. You know how important oral hygiene is.
No.
You're going to make me keep going?
No, just tell me this the thing.
No, I'm not.
Squeeze out
toothpaste. Little melody there. Okay, Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode.
Personal Jesus. That's a reach.
Come on.
But okay, I mean, you can. I mean, this is kind of weird stuff anyway. So
it is weird.
Squeeze out
That's
toothpaste.
Fun. So here's the whole thing. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You know how important oral hygiene is. Can you hear the playing in the background?
Yeah.
You know the phrasing. You'll be in the dentist chair if you don't take care.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah. You obviously spent a lot more time on
Grab
this than
the brush and the tube and give it some squeezes, or dentures you'll have to wear like Granny over there. Squeeze out toothpaste.
Sure. Okay.
I wrote all that, which is why you didn't get any of it.
Yes, exactly.
All right, you're welcome, and now it's your turn.
Okay, thanks very much. Ooh, Wally, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, Wally, ooh, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Bing, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang.
No, that's not it. You got anything else?
Ooh, Wally, ooh.
See, I didn't write like an entire lyric. I just picked a couple of lines. And...
Well, I didn't do that for all of them. I just got carried away with that one.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, so that would be who are you? Who?
Yeah.
Right. So who are you by the Who? Pete Townsend is of course the
yes. Great song.
Lyricist is the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
Okay, you want to try another one?
Okay, I'm going to try another one. This I won't go quite into indulging myself as much with.
Thank you.
And this is probably just going to be a lay down, but I love it anyway. Give me the peat moss and feed my soil.
Or is it give me the Beach Boys and feed my toad? Because that's the one that I have on my sheet.
Feed my toad.
Which is obviously Drift Away.
Drift Away by
Dobie Gray.
Dobie Gray, but Mentor Williams first.
Written by Mentor Williams.
Yes.
And the actual line is give me the Beat Boys and free my soul.
But not written by Mentor Williams. First recorded by Mentor Williams, written by John Henry Kurtz.
Oh, then that's not the information that I have.
Yeah, I went into this whole wiki page thing because I started to get really fascinated with it, and I didn't want to use this for this segment because I wanted to get all into that. So I have it highlighted that we'll go into that.
Like we always say, we'll talk about that later.
Right. One day before our graves, we will...
okay, so I guess I'm going to have to cross that one off on my list as well. You used one from both your list and mine.
I think that's the first time I've done that to you, and like the 10th time.
Since we've been doing this, yeah. This should be an easy one for you. It's Yesterday Down in Attica.
Oh my gosh.
No?
It's Yesterday Down in Attica. I know I can get it, but I'd have to sit here too long. What is it?
I Bless the Rains Down in Africa.
Oh, my God.
Africa by Toto.
And I can tell you that was hovering around in the back of my head.
I'm sure it was. I don't doubt it. That was written by Porcaro and Paich. I believe it's pronounced Paich, P-A-I-C-H.
And,
it's
yacht rock.
I thought that was an easy... That's definitely a yacht rock.
It's yacht rock, but it's a cool song. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's my next one for you. And, I'll just go with it. Jared has stolen that man's toupee.
Jared has stolen that man's toupee. I'm not going to sit here and make everyone wait to listen. I have no idea. What do you got?
Because I want you to get it, I'm going to say it with a little bit of the phrasing of the song.
Okay, go ahead.
Jared has stolen that man's toupee.
No, sorry.
Jeremy from Pearl Jam.
Oh, okay. Yes, there you go.
I was really hoping that one would flip
Jeremy's
because
okay, there you go.
Written by Eddie Vedder, Jeffrey Ament, and off of the 10 album.
I don't know that
1991.
I don't know that I actually know the real lyrics to that song because it's one of those that
Jeremy spoke in class today.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know.
I
know the song.
Well, that would explain
I know the song, but I wouldn't have known the actual lyrics.
Didn't know the actual lyrics.
I almost can't just say these because they make me laugh when I look at them. 30 Knees, Thunder Cheeks.
30 knees?
30. 30 knees. Thunder cheeks.
Thunder cheeks.
No. Okay, how about Dirty Deeds?
Dirty Deeds.
Dirt cheap. By AC/DC.
Totally should have got that.
But you should have got that.
Totally.
By Scott Young and Young. I don't know if this segment's going to really fly.
We should call this, You Should Know This Wrong.
I like it. We might use that.
You should know this wrong.
All right. I think if you give me one more, we might find our way out of here alive. What do you think?
Okay, we're going to try at least one more. Again, I think this should be a laydown, but what do I know? The Rorschach is a mental gauge to see if you can keep it together. The Rorschach.
The Love Shack?
Yeah.
If you hadn't have said it that way,
I
probably wouldn't have got
by
it.
the look in your eyes, you were like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have got
What
it.
is happening here?
Okay, so how about Backseat Queen, Only 7 Teeth?
Only 7 teeth.
Yes. Here, I'll give you a little hint. We're going to step away from the actual lyric. The name of the band is an abbreviation of the last names or the first names of the artists, of the individual members of the band.
Yeah, it's not helping. Yeah.
Okay, so it's Dancing Queen, Only 17.
Yeah.
And that's by ABBA and written by Anderson and Olveus. But
this should be working. It really should be. This segment should be working.
Well, because you and I are both such dweebs about this kind of shit.
I know.
The goofy dad joke thing going on. I mean,
know.
And it fits right in with
I'm getting a kick out of it, but we should be guessing them. That was a super obvious, like...
Oh, I thought that one was really obvious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super obvious.
Do you have one more, or would you like some more? Here's some more.
I think I have another one.
Okay.
Man, if this isn't a laydown, I just don't know what's going to happen. So, okay. Snow-covered otters. See, this has to be a verbal delivery versus text thing.
Yeah.
Snow-covered otters.
No. Oh, Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
There you go.
Smoke on the Water.
Yeah. Maybe we have to try this via text next time, or via
we'll have to try that.
Because it's kind of the same way that we're...
Hopefully, that, was a little bit of a kick for the people who might be listening.
I don't know. I feel
who hung in there.
I'm sorry for them at this point.
I kind of do too. I mean, I think there's some funny stuff in there, but it just didn't, it didn't cook.
Well, here, you know what? Let's just try one the other way. I'm going to give it to you visually, rather, than saying it. Does that work for you?
Sure. So the clue Race just gave me is Shamu the Mysterious Whale. Shamu the Mysterious Whale. Yes. Hold on. See, here's the problem. It's going to be like Prime. We're going to have a buzzer, so it's going to be the same thing. You're either...
Okay.
No.
So it's She Moves in Mysterious Ways.
She moves in mysterious ways.
And mysterious. I couldn't find a word to sub for that. So.
No, that should have worked. And I swear I could hear the song bubbling up back there. So
and the actual lyric is She Moves in Mysterious Ways. Right. The name of the song is Mysterious Ways. It's U2, and that's one that's written by Bono. And I read that this was one that they fought over in the studio for quite some time. Really? Not fisticuffs, but
had differences of opinion, shall we say?
They had issues.
Well, do you know what the substance of that...
as I remember it, and I'm not trying to speak with authority here because I rarely do, I believe that this was a song...
You mean you rarely try to, or you rarely effectively
speak? I mean both are the case. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe the producer the producer of the song and Bono couldn't come together with the direction they wanted the song to go in, and essentially they worked together on it and got into a heated argument where everybody left the studio, just all walked away. And the next day, I believe the Edge was working on was doodling around on his guitar, irrespective of that song. the producer was like, "Oh, that's what we need in that other song that we were fighting about yesterday." And then Bono came in and said, "Oh yeah, that works. That's right." And everybody was happy and they moved on.
Wow.
And again, do your own research.
Right. Maybe not exact. Maybe don't take that exactly it.
So, thanks for joining us for this first attempt at Bean Enchiladas.
We are going to work on it. We are going to get this.
But we may do that offline so that we don't have to subject people to it anymore, because I feel like that people were going, "What the hell is going on there?"
I just think that has to be really fun. Like, there's a way that's going to be really fun.
Okay.
Maybe
I might have to take your word for it on that.
Thanks for hanging in there with us while we plod that out, and we'll move on to another something here. Okay, so next segment coming up is something that we have decided to call uncontrolled substance, which probably doesn't really define itself that well for most of what we do, because most of what we do is pretty much uncontrolled substance.
This was actually a way that we could just do what we always do, which is talk too much.
Right.
But not necessarily within the structure of a challenge or a game. It's just kind of this is something that I think is interesting, or I've been thinking about. Same for you, either way.
There's a sort of a main topic. Maybe it's a song, maybe it's an artist, or in this case,
or a group of musicians. And this particular segment, Uncontrolled Substance segment, we're going to devote to a group of guys known as the Fabulous Funk Brothers. And I say guys because, as far as I know, there may not have been, other than background singers, I don't think there were many women in it. I could certainly be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time this afternoon.
But that information is hard to discern because of the nature of it, which will be touched on. Hard to know not only how many, but
who they exactly were.
Who exactly.
There's
male
kind
or
of,
female,
there's
and
kind of some disagreement about that. But essentially, the Fabulous Funk Brothers, or the Funk Brothers, were a group of guys that and women that played studio
musicians,
backing musicians in Detroit. From
Motown, baby.
Yeah, almost all of it. What they did was Motown. From 59 until 72. What brought it to my attention was there was a documentary called "Standing in the Shadows of Motown" that was put out in 2002, and in that particular documentary, they identified 13 specific guys that were known to be Fabulous Funk Brothers, verified. However, there are another 120 plus.
Right.
That some played on one or two songs, some played on 6 songs. The thing is that these guys were working by the hour for largely Berry Gordy and Motown, generating music that was on his labels. Okay,
right.
And he had Tamla. There were other ones, and these guys largely unrecognized.
Unrecognized by history, by musical history, by what's the word? The fruits of their labors.
Yeah, unlike the Wrecking Crew that was going on the West Coast, these guys didn't get album credits.
Right, they didn't get credit. They didn't.
Yeah, and literally, many of them actually had to take up jobs elsewhere outside of music, just to live hand to mouth. And several of them were known to have died penniless. These guys really did not get any recognition for what they did.
Right.
And again, you're talking about 12 or 14 years here that they were
a long time. They were dedicated musicians. Is part of the sort of heartbreaking point, is that they, this was their love, right? This is what they
and their livelihood
and their livelihood, what they were inspired to do, driven to do, and they didn't really.
They were largely taken advantage of very, very much by the powers that be, or that were at the time.
Right.
But we're going to kind of just run through some of the songs that they are on. And again, there are, if you're interested in this, go to Wikipedia and look them up. The Funk Brothers, the Fabulous Funk Brothers.
The wiki page is, it's pretty impressive.
Do your little Wikipedia thing.
Hey, donate to Wikipedia, folks. Wikipedia, donate to knowledge, collective and cooperative knowledge. That's my plug. Donate. Anyway.
Okay, so we're going to go through a list of songs here. We're just going to kind of touch on them. And they're not in any real order that I'm aware of.
But again, before we dig into this, I want to clarify with you, because you know a little more about this story than I do, but the organization the two of us, reference with some frequency that's comparable to this is the Wrecking Crew, which is another huge group of impressive musicians from a similar period. I guess they ran a little later into the 60s and 70s.
Oh, they were definitely around, even into the 80s. Yeah.
And the thing about the Wrecking Crew that we have marveled about, I guess, together in our BSing is that the songs that I'm looking to see if the same thing is true here. The songs the Wrecking Crew is responsible for having played in, or credited with having played in, they're also known to have sort of made the song.
Right.
And that's
like
times...
literally wrote the music, kind of thing.
Right. Times tens and tens or hundreds even of songs. They made the hooks. They created the riffs. They turned it into a song that was enjoyable to hear. So I'm not sure that the Funk Brothers did the same thing.
It was exactly the same.
Right.
It was very much somebody showed up with lyrics and maybe a melody, and then they built the song on the fly.
Right. They were really the creative force behind it that made it sound the way it sounded and gave it the flair it had. And
these weren't guys that were just where somebody needed a drummer to step in.
Right.
This was essentially a open-ended backing band.
Right.
Okay, that was doing the arranging and all of that as well. So again, we're going to run through some of these songs here, and maybe we'll just trade them off back and forth. Please, Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes. And a lot of these Motown tunes were done by more than one artist. So the ones that we're referencing are just the ones that are actually on this page right now. That doesn't mean...
right, I can think of at least 3 covers
of Mr. Postman.
That I heard on the radio.
Right, so Please, Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes.
The Girl's All Right With Me, Temptations.
Fingertips by Stevie Wonder. That's a huge song. My Guy by Mary Wells.
My Guy, yeah. Where Did Our Love Go? The Supremes. I mean, that was a huge song.
Oh, and Baby Love by the Supremes, and Stop in the Name of Love by the Supremes, and Come See About Me by the Supremes, and Back in My Arms Again by the Supremes, and I Hear a Symphony by the Supremes, and You Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes, and You Keep Me Hanging On by the Supremes, and Forever Came Today. So, like, there's 10 songs right there.
But just for the Supremes. And again, these people had as much to do with making that song as enjoyable as it is
as the Supremes
did.
Yeah,
if not more.
If not more.
They were as much the creating force. Backing up just a little, because we could see in this long list that there are so many Supreme songs. Baby, I Need Your Lovin' by the Four Tops.
Oh, I love that song.
I Can't Help Myself by the Four Tops. Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. Reach Out, I'll Be There by the Four Tops. So already in just this section of the page, what did we just name? 25 songs. Those are all just massive Motown hits.
Big hits.
Just all the Motown hits.
My Girl by the Temps. Marvin Gaye's I Heard It Through the Grapevine. I Can't Get Next to You. And that's one of my, by the Temps. I Can't Get Next to You.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite R&B tunes, and just one of my favorite tunes.
Who in the rock era, the 70s, covered that song?
Can't Get Next to You?
Yeah.
Well, I know Aretha did it.
I want to say there's
there are a couple of them. There are at least a couple of them, actually.
Don't need to get hung up on it, but it just flashed into my head.
Maybe, yeah. Well, that'll come back to us. Okay, so we're jumping ahead a little bit here.
Someday We'll Be Together, Diana Ross and the Supremes. Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Diana Ross. I mean, come on.
Smokey Robinson, Tears of a Clown. Just My Imagination by the Temps. Papa Was a Rolling Stone by the Temps.
Smokey was a writer. Smokey wrote his stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's Get It On, Marvin Gaye. You Sure Love to Ball, Marvin Gaye. Come Get to This, Marvin Gaye. Holy cow.
Shop Around by the Miracles. That's
right. Shotgun, Junior Walker and the All-Stars.
That's kind of crazy because Junior Walker was actually a real musician.
Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't have a band.
Well, and again, maybe they had that substantial part in creating what the song ended up being. And
sure.
They just, credited them on here.
It is nuts.
How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, Marvin Gaye.
You know who covered that one?
Yeah. James Taylor.
Yep.
Sweet Baby James. Should I be cheesier?
The way no, not at all. How could you be cheesier? The way you do the things you do. I'm a Road Runner, also by Junior Walker and the All Stars.
Ain't Too Proud to Beg, The Temptations, The Rolling Stones, every band in the world.
I Wish It Would Rain by the Temps.
That's the way love is. Heat Wave, Martha and the Vandellas.
Man, Vandellas, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, I knew that, and I just did not pronounce it right.
Let's see here. Who's Loving You by the Jackson 5.
What's So Good About Goodbye, The Miracles. I Was Made to Love Her, Stevie Wonder. It is kind of surprising to see Stevie Wonder in there much at all.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when he was a young man, it was very much. It wasn't that he wasn't a musician or couldn't write. It was very much that Berry Gordy was like, "This is what we're going to do."
Right. He was the controlling force.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's the Same Old Song by the Four Tops.
Four Tops.
God, there's
Standing in the Shadows of Love by the Four Tops. That's
wow.
If
I were Your Woman, Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Dancing in the Street by Martha and the Vandellas.
Going to a Go-Go, The Miracles, and the Rolling Stones.
Yep. Runaway Child, Running Wild by the Temps. All I Need by the Temps. Cloud 9 by the Temps. Get Ready by the Temps.
Mercy Me, Marvin Gaye. What's Going On, Marvin Gaye.
Inner City Blues, Marvin Gaye. I mean, again, the list literally just goes on and on.
Yeah, we're on page 3, and we
Tracks
can't
of
see
My Tears by the Miracles.
Nowhere to Run, Martha and the Vandellas.
Pretty much everything.
Here Comes the Judge, Shorty Long. Yeah, it's
Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I'm Yours, Stevie Wonder. Bernadette. We both love that one, right?
Yeah.
You know, the thing is that like, I want to meet Bernadette because the way that guy sings, she is something else. And I'm not talking about her looks, but like he's like living his life because of Bernadette.
Exactly.
Right?
What Becomes of the Broken Hearted, which was covered in the late 90s by, now I can't think of his name, it just ran out of my head. But he had a few hits. Anyway.
Thanks for bringing that up then.
Yeah. Paul, you know who I'm talking about?
Not right.
Oh my gosh. He had a great bi-level, or whatever you want to call it.
Bi-level?
Anyway, haircut.
Oh. Okay. Great. I second that emotion by Smokey and the Robinson and the Miracles. I Know I'm Losing You by the Temptations.
Pride and Joy, Marvin Gaye, which was covered by.
I'll Be Doggone by Marvin Gaye.
Ball of Confusion by the Temptations.
Great Googly Mooglies.
Just awesome.
Let's see here. This Old Heart of Mine. Oh, again, the Isley Brothers. This Old Heart of Mine. Man, that's one of those that I can't hardly listen to without
Stevie
crying.
Wonder, Uptight. That song is a rocker.
Absolutely.
I love that song.
Absolutely.
Devil with a Blue Dress, Shorty Long.
Now that one, Mitch Ryder and the
Mitch Ryder, yes.
Wheels did.
Yes, you probably know more.
Don't Mess with Bill by the Marvelettes.
Jimmy Mack by Martha and the Vandellas up there. That was huge.
Mickey's Monkey by the Miracles. That one's been redone a couple of times.
Shake Me, Wake Me, the Four Tops. Walk Away, Renee, the Four Tops. I didn't know the Four Tops did that.
I didn't either, but they probably did it.
Yeah.
You know, there was. I came across this in researching something earlier this week. Is, you know, back in the late '60s and early '70s, cover songs were a lot more prevalent than they are now. And even cover songs while the original was still
they were like shared almost.
Right, exactly. So, you know, I mean, like 3 different bands would do a song. You know,
and a cover on the radio.
It could be a Vanilla Fudge doing a cover of an R&B tune, or vice versa. It was very, very common.
Yeah. And that was great.
Oh yeah, I mean, think of Jimi Hendrix covering Bob Dylan's "All Along the Watchtower."
Yeah,
they were simultaneously hits on the radio.
Right, simultaneously on the radio.
So at any rate, to get back to where we're going here for the fabulous Funk Brothers.
Do Da Day, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, as much as hard as
I couldn't get all the words.
As hard a time as you had saying that.
Imagine singing.
If it was playing, you would be able to sing along.
Well, that's true. That's true. Cool Jerk up there, the Capitals. Cool Jerk.
Yeah, exactly. Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher and Higher by Jackie Wilson. You know, the song from the movie.
Oh no,
Nothing at All.
I'm not going to get that.
Okay, it would have been. And now, of course, I can't think of it. You just did that to me.
Thank you for doing that. Give me just a little more time, chairman of the board.
Just a little more time.
That was a really cool song.
Yeah. And again, there's more.
Boom Boom, John Lee Hooker.
Somebody's Been Sleeping in My Bed.
It just keeps going on.
Yeah. And so anyway, these folks didn't get the recognition they deserved. Certainly during their lifetimes, and really only amongst those musicians that they worked with were they honored as they should have been.
And we were curious about the fact that a few of these musicians, they're the actual musicians, Stevie Wonder and some of them, had other people doing so much. But there's a blurb in the Wikipedia page for this, I'm remembering now, that said somebody from the time, knowledgeable from the time, said that everybody who was a Motown artist was a funk brother at one point or another.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of thing. It's like it was not uncommon to have somebody show up and just, hey, we need a bass player. Well, the bass player might very well have been somebody that was very well known.
Right,
and
right. Already had their own career.
And wasn't
hits,
even known for being a bass player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Marvin Gaye playing piano on a given song kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that may very well have been. Or it sounds like that's what they're hinting at least.
Exactly. So at any rate, if you don't know about them, go check them out. Do your research on the Googles and see what you can find out.
And check out the documentary.
Standing in the Shadows of Motown. Again, that was in 2002. And if you'll give me just a few seconds, I'll try to get you back to who produced that here. At any rate.
There you go. 2002 documentary film, Standing in the Shadows, based on Alan Slutsky's book of the same name.
Check them out, folks. Really, there's a bunch of people here, and man, as you heard, there's dozens and dozens of hits.
Eddie Bongo Brown, all these people. Yeah.
Anyway. There is an extensive list of well over 100 different musicians
on the page.
And what
clickable.
What music? If they're known, you can follow the link there. So
yeah, go check it out. And that is an example of what we'll be doing when we do the segment that we call
Uncontrolled Substance.
Right. We'll be taking a subject like that, or maybe just a song that has some history or a reason to blather about it for a few minutes, and we'll be going into it. So thanks for listening to that, and we're going to move on to...
We are moving into the section that we lovingly call Ask and Ye Shall Be Deceived. Essentially, we turn our challenge on its head a little bit. It's a verbally delivered challenge, and what it is
we turn a portion of a lyric of a song into a question to challenge the other person with, and if they guess the answer to the question, they guess the song, essentially.
So I'm going to ask you to start this time.
Okay.
Have you got something ready for me?
I think I can do that. Okay. So he said she kept her motor clean and did what to him?
Boy, that's got something, but I can't. It's not coming to me.
Okay, well, that was fun because it's Shook Me All Night Long.
Oh, yeah.
By AC/DC. She kept her motor clean. She was a fast machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the best damn woman that I've ever seen, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
That was written by Brian Johnson, Angus Young, Malcolm Young from the Back in Black album in 1980. Go.
All right. Who's walking with gorillas and where?
Oh. Down my street. Pretty women are walking with gorillas, and they're walking down my street.
Okay, and that is
Joe
from
Jackson.
Joe Jackson's Is She Really Going
Out With Him?
And he is the...
Oh my gosh, that was so fun to put together in my brain. I love that.
You should have seen your face.
Probably I should not have seen my face. Okay, here we go. What can you do in the summertime when the weather is high?
You can reach right up and touch the sky. That's correct. And that's Mungo Jerry.
Well, I was wondering if you were going to get the name.
Mungo Jerry. And I believe the song is called In the Summertime.
In the Summertime. In the Summertime.
I believe there was some association between the members of Mungo Jerry and some of the members of the Grateful Dead. For some reason, I have that in my head.
That song's tone would certainly work with that belief.
Okay,
I just want another band to be named Mungo Jerry. I mean, come on. Okay, your turn.
What kind of people does it take?
Well, not just most kinds of people, Race. It takes every kind of people, as we know.
And?
Every kind of people. The song name of the song is Every Kind of People. But I'm blanking on the artist.
Oh, it's Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer.
That one's written by Andy Fraser. I actually used to have...
That was a cover, isn't it?
Yes, but I've never heard the original. And I actually used to have the lyrics to that some of the lyrics up to that hanging up on the wall in my office because it's a really kind of
the
very,
fight
very
to
cool
make
thought.
ends meet.
That whole thing, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What 2 things does Roxanne not have to do anymore?
She doesn't have to wear that dress, and she doesn't have to walk the streets. And that's rocks. Which,
Yes.
that's the Police, right?
The Police. Sting wrote the song.
And it looks like he wrote pretty much most of everything early on.
He wrote a lot of them. Yeah, for sure. And the album name is one of my favorite album names, Outland Us to You More. I just had to be able to say that. But I also have to segue for just a second here and say, if you get the chance to go watch and listen to the YouTube, whatever, the video spoof of the song, just called Rocks, please go.
Who's the...
It's a person, I don't know who just uses the rocks part.
Right.
And gets rid of all the rest of the words, and I mean, it will just make you laugh until you fall over. Then. It's so enjoyable. It's
okay.
strange.
Well, as long as we're in the neighborhood, what's your brother gonna do to me, and how tall is he?
Your brother's gonna kill me, and he's 6'10".
Also,
6'10".
Also, the Police.
The Police.
Can't Stand
yes.
Losing You. Also written by Sting. And it's not the only song where he references like being afraid of a tall guy.
Really?
Yeah, there's another one on Fields. I can't think of it. It's one of his solo albums, and I can actually see in my head. I can see the CD cover.
Maybe it's a nod to that song from so long ago.
Who knows? I don't know. I didn't.
Who knows? Okay. Okay. In a town without a name, in a heavy downpour, what did he see?
In a town without a name.
In a heavy downpour. What did he think he saw?
I'm not sure. I don't have anything.
Thought he cast his own shadow by the backstage door.
Nope.
Not ringing a bell?
Nope.
Oh. Kind of thought that one would hit you.
Who was it?
Jukebox Hero by Foreigner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was
the beginning of the song. It's spoken, actually.
I know the lyric now that you said it. And actually, I was a Foreigner fan, like... I was going to say it before it was cool, just because that's such a rude thing to say. But I was a Foreigner fan for the first 2 or 3 albums. I was actually my brother turned me on to Foreigner when they just came out.
Oh yeah. I loved Foreigner right off the bat too.
I think about the 3rd album, I kind of got burned out on them because they were just there was so much of them.
Yeah, they
on the radio.
were
very
all
prolific
over the radio, and they started. Maybe they didn't start making ballads, but they started having success with some ballads.
Sure.
And that, I don't know why at the time it hit me the wrong way. I was like, no, come on, you're a great rock band. What are you doing? But I don't know why this is interesting to me. It probably will fall flat on its face as far as interest to anybody else. But there was a song on, I think it was the first Foreigner album, that was an instrumental called Tramontane that you may or may not remember. But that song has stuck in my head my whole life, and I have zero idea why. I mean, there are a lot of instrumental songs, great instrumental songs by artists who were way more deserving of credit for having made a great instrumental song. And that song just hangs with me all the time.
Yeah, you know, as long as you went down this road, you know, I mean, obviously this whole concept between us here is lyric based, which means that instrumental songs don't really have a place here.
Right.
But the thing is, that's really where my greatest love of music is in instrumentals. I'm a big fan of fusion and jazz and
Jean-Luc Ponty, baby.
Exactly, that kind of stuff. Jeff Beck. There's no lyrics there, you know. Right. So obviously, it's kind of hard for us to discuss that in this venue. But I've actually got a uncontrolled substance subject set up later for down the road. Talking about instrumentals and about music without words.
That'd be great.
Anyway, I believe it's...
I think it's your turn.
Okay, so what was the Mississippi Delta shining like?
It was shining like a national guitar. He was following the river...
through the cradle
of the...
Down the highway through the cradle.
Down the highway through the cradle of the Civil War. Yeah.
Graceland.
Memphis, Graceland.
Paul Simon on the
Graceland album.
Yes. And I guess
again, an album I played a hole in.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I guess he was just coming out of his divorce from Carrie Fisher.
Because he was a child of my first marriage.
Which is not Carrie Fisher. It's actually somebody different.
And
by the way, the child of his first marriage is actually a pretty successful musician. I went down a wiki rabbit hole the other day, and I can't remember his name.
Is he a artist on his own?
Yes, and very very successful.
Very well known. I never looked it up. I never paid any more attention to it than that. In the song.
Yeah.
And went on with enjoying the song and never went down any wiki holes. You need to make a note, and we'll get back to that for uncontrolled substance or unhinged rant.
That would be any of the rants by either one of us.
Should I try to give you another one while you're doing that?
I'm not doing it. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to look it up.
No, please, no. I'm working here, pal.
What old friend have I come to speak with again?
Darkness. Paul Simon. Nice segue there.
Yeah. That happened coincidentally to be the next one I had lined up. So
really,
so that worked out. What's the name of the song?
Sounds of Silence.
Yes, I knew you would get
But I actually had to play the lyrics through my head to get to it.
had to fast forward all the way there and hear every word. That was Simon and Garfunkel, although written by Paul Simon. So, what do you got, tough guy?
I've got the fact that actually Harper was Paul Simon's son. Harper Simon, I believe he's in his 50s now.
Yeah, really?
That's the child of my first marriage that we just discussed.
Harper Simon.
Yeah. And again, a fairly successful guy on his own. He did some work with Rufus Wainwright, who is Loudon Wainwright III's son. Dead skunk in the middle of the road.
Right.
Wainwright. So anyway, my next one. Why would this old house have burnt down a long time ago?
I thought I knew where that was going, but I don't. I can't. I'm not coming up with anything.
If dreams were thunder and lightning was desire, this old house would have burnt down a long time ago.
I don't know.
The song is Angel from Montgomery.
Oh, my, yeah.
Now, most folks know
John
it.
Hyatt.
No.
He didn't write it?
He did not. Most folks know it as a Bonnie Raitt song.
I love the Bonnie Raitt version. Just crushes.
John Prine.
John Prine. Sorry. Yeah. Can't make that mistake. I need to go wash my own mouth out.
I mean, they're both great guys and both great lyricists
there's
and
no mixing them.
Great musicians, but they're two completely different guys.
There's no mixing that.
Got more?
How about I got one more? Whose smile reminds me of childhood memories?
Well, yours does, Reed. Who's? I don't know, but I think it's the Cure song. Go ahead.
Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have caught me on one of those. I'm not.
It's that whole opening line. I'm not either.
I'm not a GNR fan.
It's such a ubiquitous. If you love the song, I apologize for saying irritating song.
I have a good friend across the street. My neighbor Chris we've known for 25 years. She was madly in love with
Axl Rose
when she was younger, and she doesn't miss an opportunity to listen to their music, see them,
right.
Any derivative of anything. So relative to that,
the GNR cover bands, coming to town or whatever. So the first part of the lyrics are everybody has it ground into their subconscious. She's got a smile and seems to me reminds me of childhood memories. That starts off the song. That song is written by Duff Rose McKeegan, Izzy Stradden, Saul Hudson, Steven Adler, and W. Axl Rose. I only wanted to go through that because, holy cow.
You know who Saul Hudson is?
I know who what?
Saul Hudson.
Saul Hudson? I don't know who Saul
That's
Hudson.
Slash.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's
sure about
how much attention I've paid
Pretty
to
sure about
Guns
that.
N' Roses.
Yeah.
But all due respect to Guns N' Roses fans and their music, they're a successful operation and, just not my thing. Okay.
I believe I have one more here.
And that'll round it out.
Round it out for us, okay? I have so many cool ones.
Because you're a cool jerk.
I am a cool jerk. What kind of land does Mike Rutherford say it is?
A land of confusion.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
And that is the name of the song, isn't it? Land of
I
Confusion?
believe so.
Genesis?
Yes. Genesis is the band.
Yeah.
Land of Confusion. Also the name of the album. And that was written by Rutherford, Collins, and Banks, all three of them.
Yeah, and you
members.
said what kind of land does Mike Rutherford say it is? But
Because he's singing at that point. No, he's not.
No, that's
but I'm sorry.
He's the lyricist, but
he's the lyricist. The other two.
Yeah, yes. Phil Collins
wrote
doing
the song, but he wrote the lyrics.
Lyrics, right? Phil Collins is doing the singing. I was hearing it in my head. I was like, that wasn't Mike Rutherford. Nice. Okay.
And Saul Hudson, by the way, I'm absolutely certain because I just confirmed it, is in fact. Because I was feeling stupid there. Well, yes, I just went to verify myself there.
All right, that was fun, right?
Oh, I had a
right,
good time
everybody.
with
that was
I
fun.
want to do some more of those, but we're not going to do them right now.
Fun. Yeah, I mean, I could just keep going with that all night. It's great. I just gave up what time of day it is. I said all night.
Yeah, and I said this afternoon earlier. You kind of just made me look bad there, but that's not the first time. I can make myself look pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay,
I think that's probably going to bring this actual episode to a close as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the show for this go around, and we're glad you listened and hung out with us for a while. We hope you got some stuff out of this to go spend some time searching and fascinating yourself with, and throw some thoughts at us or some corrections or whatever.
There's certainly plenty of those.
Yeah.
So this show has been You Should Know This Song, and we are Mixed Apes.
Race of Apes and Read of Apes, the Mixed Apes. We thank you for tuning in. Hope you'll hit the like and the subscribe button and come back and hang out some more.
Next time.
Well, hey, you still there? Raise your hand if you made it all the way through. Hopefully the reason any of you are still here is because you had maybe nearly as much fun listening to this as we had doing it. So thank you. We appreciate you guys listening, contributing, being there for our little Mixed Apes pod show here. You should know this song. If you did enjoy it, if you have anything to say, that kind of thing, consider subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing, all that stuff. Just get the business out of the way. What we hope is that you got a great song stuck in your head today, or you have some interesting tidbit to go search up on the Googles and, feed your brain some more about things like rock and roll music, for crying out loud. And you can go to the Mixedapes website. It's www.mixedapes.com, MIXEDAPEZ. That's important, the Z. And you can also get there by Googling YouShouldKnowThisSong.com. Submit comments and follow, and like I said, like and subscribe. And we've got a charities page listed that we feel like is worthy to promote. We're not affiliated with any of them. We just think they're doing cool stuff and thought we'd, share it with the world, maybe get them some donations, that kind of thing. So maybe check that out and make yourself more aware, and maybe even toss them a few bucks. Anyway, we really hope we get you back for the next episode and ones after that. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate your support. This has been Mixed Apes, Read and Race for You Should Know This Song. Peace.